And those who wish to lay flowers. Her Excellency, the High Commissioner of India to the Republic of Cyprus, Mrs. Madhumita Hazarika Bhagat, Professor Tásος Χριστοφίδης, Rector of the University of Cyprus, His Her Excellencies, the Ambassadors of Slovakia Republic of Cyprus, the Ambassador of Brazil in Cyprus, and honorable representatives of the embassies in Cyprus, friends of India and Indian community in Cyprus, dear students, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Namaste. The University of Cyprus and the High Commission of India to the Republic of Cyprus warmly welcome you all to the celebration event entitled Celebration of the Birth Anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore and Azadi Kamrit Mahotsav. This celebration event is part of the festivities on the occasion of the 161st birth anniversary of the great Indian poet, philosopher, and Nobel laureate Rabindranath Tagore, which is celebrated all over India and globally. Without further ado, I kindly invite His Excellency, without further ado, I kindly invite the Rector of the University of Cyprus, Professor Tásos Christofidis, for his welcoming remarks. Mr. Rector, the floor is yours.
Your Excellency, High Commissioner of India to Cyprus, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Brazil, Your Excellency, Ambassador of Slovakia to Cyprus, Your Excellency, Deputy Head of Mission of the Embassy of Greece, dear guests, dear colleagues, today is an opportunity to celebrate the birthday of Tagore, as well as the 75th anniversary of independence. Large, not only in population and territory, but also mainly in culture and tradition, India is a country with many accomplishments. The University of Cyprus is collaborating with 6 Indian higher education institutions and research centers for promoting research and innovation and for encouraging academic and student mobility. The bust of Tagore is a continued reminder of the strong ties of the University of Cyprus with India and its academic institutions and knowledge centers. This statue is and will always be a timeless connection between Cyprus and India, and in particular between the University of Cyprus and India. Its placement at the University of Cyprus is an opportunity for the students, the guests of the University of Cyprus and the community to learn about the first non-European to win the Nobel Prize in Literature. It is, as the years have shown, a stimulus for discussion about the value of literature and the importance of culture in general. Honoring the memory of Tagore, allow me to quote a few words of the infamous writer. Don't limit a child to your own learning, for he was born in another time. Here at the University of Cyprus we teach not to limit, but to expand the borders of knowledge. Critical thinking is about everything. It's about learning and processing the knowledge in ways that allow humanity to better itself and to evolve. I quote the words of Tagore to remind ourselves of the potential of young generation and their impact for improving our world. I would like to express my gratitude to the counterpart of India and the diplomatic mission of the country in Cyprus, and especially to the High Commissioner, a good friend of mine, for their initiative to collaborate with the University of Cyprus and for their willingness to share their culture and customs with our community. I'm looking forward to future common activities and collaborations. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Rector. We also celebrate Azadi Kamrit Mahotsav, which is an initiative of the government of India to celebrate and commemorate 75 years of progressive India and the glorious history of its people, culture, and achievements. Your Excellency, Mrs. Madhumita Hazarika Bhagat, High Commissioner of India to the Republic of Cyprus, is kindly requested to deliver her speech. May Sabka University of Cyprus, may Suagat Kartiku. Meaning, Your Excellency, welcome at the University of Cyprus. Your Excellency, the floor is yours.
Excellencies, Rector Tassos, a very, very close friend of mine, I would say. Over these past years since I came to Cyprus, I think he's one of those persons who I always feel very honored, as well as in a certain way feel every time when I meet him that there is a lot of exchange of knowledge between both of us whenever we meet and on various subjects, and for that, Rector Tassos, I am deeply, deeply grateful. Thank you. So, on this occasion of the birth anniversary of Rabindranath Tagore, let me first of all tell you this, that he is the doyen of the cultural renaissance in India. And not only the cultural renaissance, he is a social reformer, a philosopher, a poet, and he was instrumental in bringing about a consciousness of social reform, like I said, and in a certain way the development in the most difficult times that India was going through under the colonial period. One of our dear colleagues who is here, the new ambassador of Slovakia, wanted to know that how Rabindranath Tagore, as he was known as Gurudev would mean the teacher, the highest guru that we say out of respect, that how is it that he is the one who gave the national anthem of India as well as the national anthem of Bangladesh, because he is considered to be one of the leading poets of India. Well, I can say one thing, that he was also a freedom fighter, in the sense that he might not have taken process like a direct process in the political freedom struggle, but he was a follower of Mahatma Gandhi, and all his creations in terms of his literary work was towards the freedom of India. So when finally we had got our independence, and it is also very appropriate that we are celebrating our 75 years of independence, to recall the time in 1947 when we chose the national anthem, it had to be Gurudev's poem. And later, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore had, I would say, the genesis of the national anthem of Bangladesh was laid way back in early 1900s, when the British colonial power divided Bengal. Bengal was a part of United India at that point of time, but the British divided Bengal into West Bengal and East Bengal. And at that point of time, Rabindranath Tagore was so moved by this, this act. He felt so deeply about it that he renounced his knighthood, which was given to him. So we can say that Rabindranath Tagore remains one of the iconic figures, not only in India, but is considered to be one of the iconic figures of Bangladesh also. And the national anthem of Bangladesh, which is Amar Shonar Bangla, also speaks of his attachment to Bengal as a whole. You know, he speaks of Amar Shonar Bangla as my golden Bangla, my golden Bengal. So, you know, he personifies what Bengal is for India, what Bengal was in terms of its contribution to the Indian freedom struggle also. Well, as Rector has told you, he is one of the first non-Europeans, the first Asian to get a Nobel Prize for Literature for his collection of poems called the Gitanjali. And his collection of music is known as a school of music called Rabindranath Tagore, after his name. And Rabindranath Sangeet, of course, is still sung very beautifully, and I think many Indians and many people all over the world know that one very popular song, which is, if nobody walks with you, you walk alone, keep on walking alone towards achieving the goal of freedom, or the goal of peace, and the goal of harmony. So I think his whole message to the whole world through his literary work was to be together, to live in peace and harmony. So I think I would like to end my little speech on Rabindranath Tagore. I can go on and on because he has been a subject of my study in literature and arts of the Indian culture, and his translations, his literary works have formed the core and the basis of many beautiful Indian films, and still now I think he is one of the leading figures, literary figures all over the world, where many of the students in universities do research on. And I think it's the most appropriate place for his bust to be. I'm so thankful to the University of Cyprus for giving this holy place to him, to have his influence in the university, and to lead the children of the future generations of Cyprus to know how Rabindranath Tagore, work are very important for also our relations, the Cyprus-India relations. They signify and they personify the core of our relationship with Cyprus also. Well, there's a beautiful, beautiful poem of Rabindranath Tagore, which I think is even relevant in today, because it talks about freedom, it talks about independence, it talks about something that as an individual, which each one of us strive for and countries strive for. Where the mind is without fear, where the head is held high, where knowledge is free, where the world has not been broken into fragments by narrow domestic walls, where words come out from the depth of truth, where tireless striving stretches its arms towards perfection, where the clear stream of reason has not lost its way into the dreary desert sand of dead habit, where the mind is led forward by thee into ever-widening thought and action, into that heaven of freedom, my Father, let my country awake. I would say these words still ring very true for each and every country, and as we enhance our relationship with Cyprus, I think it will be the words of Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore which will ring true for many years to come. Thank you so much once again.
And thank you for the lovely, lovely Hindi that she has picked up. It's indeed very, very encouraging to see that. Thank you.
We thank Her Excellency for her extremely interesting speech about Rabindranath Tagore, who was popularly called Gurudev. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of the celebrating event. We are thankful to all guests of honor and participants participants to this event. Thank you for joining us here today. A reception follows. Have a pleasant night.